Well, here we are. We're on the West Boulder River, a small improved campground that we have I'm about 15 miles from the house is all. I just had to get out. We've had fantastic weather, but we've had horrible weather. Fantastic in the fact you see me out here and I'm in a flannel shirt. It's February 1st, come on. We've only been below zero once this entire winter. That was last week. If you check the card at the end of the video, it'll have a link to that video. I did a cold weather camp up in the Beartooth Mountains in the Gallatin National Forest. It got a little cold, got down to about 5 below. Nothing like we're used to. We regularly get 20, 25 below every single winter, at least twice. And occasionally it'll get down. 2 years ago at our place, it got down to 40.8 below. We haven't had any of that, and it's already February. You can see there's hardly any snow anywhere. A little bit on the edge of the river where it froze up and the snow collected on the ice and hasn't melted yet, but it's terrible. But it is great, and it lets me get out. This little campground, like I said, is about 10, maybe 15 miles south between our place and the mountains. We're right along the road, Highway 191, that goes down into the National Forest. Whew. A lot of campgrounds down there. All of that ice you see is left over from our cold spell last week. I really don't think it's going to get any colder, but that's all right. Hopefully we'll have a lot of precipitation in February, March, and April. We have good snowpack up in the mountains for south central Montana, but around tree line down into the valleys, we don't have anything. We're really behind. It could really affect the amount of grass that I have on the ranch. I'm going to have to be buying a lot of alfalfa this year, I think. There's my setup. Like I said, it's a nice little improved campground. I like coming to these campgrounds in south central Montana in the wintertime because there's no people. This place in the summer is packed. When it gets packed like that, I hook the trailer up, put her in 4-wheel drive, get up on some dual track mountain roads, get off the county roads, off the Forest Service roads, get up in some of the more rugged areas that motor vehicle travel is legal, and get away from the people. Not a lot of people get way back in the mountains, way back in these dispersed areas. There's a lot of nice trout in here. I've caught a lot of fish out of this river. The main ones we have are brown, rainbow, and cutthroat. Occasionally you get a little brookie, but just the 3 big ones, same ones we have in the main boulder, the East Boulder, the Yellowstone, the Mussel Shell, the Madison, basically the same all over. Get down into the bigger rivers like the Yellowstone River, some parts of the Mussel Shell, the main boulder, you can get some big brown. You can get your limit. I can't remember, they got a weird system. You can have 3, keep 1 over 20 and then 2 of any other size. But go on a couple of fishing trips like that and you got enough to fill the smoker. Okay, this is looking to the rear. I got the vertical cubbies on either side, a nice shelf for whatever you want to do. You can put a little heater on there, or I use it to put my portable power stations on. And there's the back window, side. It does have a headliner. I like that. It helps with condensation if I use a propane heater. I'm not going to ever use them again because I hate them. I've got the diesel heater now and it works good. I've got a 6-speed fan. It's already wired into a loom. The other light will come down through this loom, and I have a marine grade switch panel that's going to go right here, and I'll have it boxed in. It has 6 switches. I can send power to the fan, which will allow me to use the controls you see right there. I have a switch for the outside lights. And then of course I'm going to put an LED light bar on the back side of this so it doesn't shine in my eyes, but it'll light up good. And I may put one here to shine on a separate switch. I've got lots of switches, 6 of them, and I don't need them all. One other modification I want to do is right here I'm going to build a little like an end table, and I will have a small power station there. I'm going to do another penetration right there. That'll allow the control panel for the heater to come in and also the power cord to come in, so my power source for the heater will be inside and warm. And it's a regular RV. I've already bought it. It's in my den at home, and I can just flip it up on the outside, run the cords in, shut it down, and I'll have full control of the heater in here. You can look at my heater review. I did a full review on that. It talks about the app and the remote and everything. And so that's pretty much it on the inside. Like I said, it's a blank canvas. No AC, no nothing. Just the fan, and that was with it. I didn't order that, but I'm glad I had it. I don't run it. I've camped in it last summer. Fortunately, in Montana, even when it's 90 out, I can open the fan, crack a window, and the draft will keep it cool in here. Works real good. I like it. I'm very pleased with it. Got the padded floor. I did a video on that, and that protects my old 60 plus year old knees. We'll step back and take a look. Hopefully that wind ain't too bad. And there it is. It's been a great little camper. These campers are extremely economical. If you're looking for your first overland camper or your first camp trailer, whatever you want to use it for, I highly suggest them. Like I said, they're not giving me crap to do this, but it's been a great camper. Great if you're starting out, extremely economical, and I am all about economy. I'm retired, fixed income now. There's not going to be no Black Series or any of those $50,000, $60,000 16-foot abominations. So I'm not saying I won't upgrade in the future to something bigger, but it's going to be economical. And you guys have seen my Jeep. I love my Jeep. It's 2018 JK Willys, manual roll-up windows, manual door locks. It's plain Jane. What I really like about it was I bought it used in 2020 right before the coof hit, and I got such a screaming deal. It was unbelievable. A kid had bought it brand new, put some items on it. The JT Gladiator came out, and he had to have one. He brought it in, traded it in, had 20,000 miles on it, and I got it for a steal. It has everything on it that I want. The only thing that I've added have been camping accessories. Let me show you what it came with when I bought it used over in Billings. Light bar on top. I love it. Works good. 2 A-pillar lights. I have no idea what this is for. Aesthetics. You know, the kid was in his 20s. I'm not. Came with this light bar. This screen is going away. I'm struggling a little bit when it gets above 70 degrees outside with engine temps, and I don't like these. That's going to go away. It came with the winch and the stubby steel bumper and the flat fenders. All of that's aftermarket, but the Jeep itself is bone stock. Doesn't even have like a K&N filter. I don't like K&Ns. I don't like introducing 50 micron or bigger dirt into my valve train and intake system. But yeah, bone stock. Everything that I wanted to do to it was already done, and it's all bolt-on stuff. LED lights and the winch and the flat fenders. I like it. It's perfect for me. It does have amp steps. I really like them. I use steps on everything. My 02 F-150's got steps. My new F-250 XL STX Super Duty has steps. They work really great on my knees, help me get in and out, help my wife get in and out. And that's it, man. I told you it was going to be a short video. So we're going to wrap this one up. I love my little camper. I love my Jeep. I love the setup. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, that camper, you need to go get on their mailing list. They have sales about 2 or 3 times a month. Unbelievable pricing. They really are economical. No fluff, no luxury. You don't have a water bed. You don't have a heated, vibrating leather recliner in it. If you want that, you're gonna have to go to one of the big factories in Indiana and pay an arm and a leg for it. But if you just want a basic place to sleep, hook a heater up, stay warm. In my case, I don't wake up as easy as I did when I was in the service. Tinnitus, bad ears. This thing is perfect for keeping the bears and the cats off of me in the summertime. I have had some minor encounters. This last summer I was up in the Gallatin National Forest and the Beartooth Mountains and heard some stuff rumbling around. Didn't get to see what it was, but he had been rumbling around for a little bit before I noticed him. So yeah, it's I don't tent camp anymore. It's especially where we live here in Montana. Like I said, we got lots of black bears, lots of cats, big cats, and we're starting to get a few brown bears, or I'm not in Alaska anymore, a few grizzly bears moving into the area. They've made a huge comeback. Maybe someday they'll issue tags for those, but okay, well, we're all done, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comment below. Any questions on the camper, I can answer them for you. Great little rig. I'll probably be upgrading here in a couple years. They have different models. They have an off-road model called the T-Rex. It's got 33s on it, big tires, and they have a wedge model that has an extension on the back with even more storage. A lot of options. Check them out. And that's it. We're done, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.